Hello, it's Vablonsky again. Today I'm in the Baltimore area, and I'm eating one of Baltimore's signature foods. It's lake trout, but ironically, it's neither a kind of trout nor is it from a lake. But fried to a golden perfection, it's a staple of takeout shops. So today's showcase is lake trout, plus another staple takeout fish as well. Join me on this episode to see Baltimore's famous fish tradition. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm featuring lake trout, and it's a fish dish that is very popular in the Baltimore area. And people in the city and in the surrounding suburbs are very familiar with lake trout. People outside of Maryland, outside of the Baltimore area, may not be as familiar with lake trout. People might be more familiar with crab cakes or steamed Maryland blue crabs or something like that. But lake trout is a ubiquitous and very famous takeout item. It's a long, kind of silvery fish with a sharp looking body, and the lower jaw kind of protrudes beyond the upper jaw. It has that kind of a menacing look to it. If you ask the shop owners and just kind of colloquially ask about lake trout in the Baltimore area, somebody might just say whiting, but that is kind of a misnomer too. It's not whiting, it's actually silver hake is what it is. It's flattened out and it's battered and fried. You dip it in a very thin hot sauce. That's a very popular condiment. But as I get started, I'm just going to eat it straight up and not dip it in anything. I'll do that later. This lake trout, it is very nicely battered. Has that nice golden, orangey brown color that you popularly see on fried fish. Supposedly this has a lot of bones, so I don't know, but I'm just going to bite it and see what happens. Oh yeah. Ooh, it does have a lot of bones. Wow. Oh. Wow. The flesh is very delicate, very flaky and delicate, but it has a lot of bones. It's very bony and it has a lot of kind of skeletal structure in the way as you're biting it. It's very, very delicate. Wow, that's really nice. That's really good. Some of these bones are soft enough that you can actually eat. Like these little fins. Wow. Really, really fresh though. I can tell it's fresh. Wow. Actually, there's less bones in here than I was anticipating, but it's not that bad actually. And, ooh, let me just rip it. Maybe I can, oh, you can rip it. You can just rip the delicate flesh right off of this thing. Look at this. Oh man, this is a wobbly piece. This is where all the flesh is. Okay, I would be remiss if I didn't try the hot sauce with this lake trout. This is the most common condiment that goes with the fish. Okay, let me dip it. Oh, here it is. Ooh. Wow. Ooh. It tastes like maybe a mixture of Tabasco sauce and vinegar, but really it's the vinegariness of it that comes through, and so it just complements the friedness of the fish, because you know sour things go well with fried things. Oh, let me pour some onto the other half of this fillet. Okay. I poured it on. It's saturated on this fish. Wow. Wow. Gotta be careful of the bones on this half of the fish. Okay, let me try some of the sides. I'm gonna try the collard greens. Wow. Wow. Very soft. I mean, this is really soft collard greens. Wow. They really cooked this for a long time, I can tell. Wow. There's a slight sourness to it. I'm used to having collard greens with a little bit of liquid in the container. There is basically no liquid in here, but despite that, it's very moist. It's very soft. Wow. And there's a slight sourness, which you want. I mean, that's expected and desirable. There's a light kind of a sourness to it. It's cooked with vinegar, I think. Okay, let me try the macaroni and cheese next. Oh. Okay, the texture is on point. They nailed the texture. It's very cheesy, savory, cheesy, al dente texture. So they nailed the macaroni and cheese. Okay, another popular fish that's served in these seafood and fried fish takeout shops is something called steak fish. Steak fish doesn't have the same renown and reputation as lake trout, but it is commonly served at these seafood takeout places, and I got some steak fish. And I don't know exactly what kind of fish that is. I think it might be some sort of hake. Now, I don't think it's silver hake, which is what lake trout is. And it's not served in the same manner. In other words, it's cut into almost a roundish shape, and it looks really meaty. Wow. Wow. That is a robust piece of white flaky fish. Wow. Look at that. Wow. I know now why it's called steak fish. It's like steak, really. It's flaky, but it's also very robust and kind of firm at the same time. Wow. 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 It's much more robust than the lake trout is. It's like lake trout on steroids. I mean, it's like the bodybuilding cousin of lake trout. Wow. It's not as crisp because of the flesh underneath the batter, really, because it's so much flesh. There's a softness to it, so you lack the kind of snap and crispness of the lake trout because the lake trout is just so thin. But if you want something meaty, this is it. Wow. Wow. I mean, there's a kind of paradoxical firmness and robustness to this steak fish, but it's still very light and delicate. It really covers all the bases. Wow, look at this. Wow, it's so light and delicate, but it's also robust at the same time. Wow, this is really good. Lake Trout 2, this place that I visited, is one of two places that I know in the Baltimore area that has the name Lake Trout. There's a Lake Trout 2, again, the place that I went to today, and there's a Lake Trout 3, which is kind of on the western side of the Baltimore area. This lake trout, too, is just north of the city. I guess it would be called Towson, Maryland, the place where I'm at now. Let me try one of these western fries. Oh, wow. I got the fries because that is a very common side item at these seafood takeout places. Wow. And around here, they're called western fries. I don't know what they're called where you are. I think they tend to be called potato wedges in a lot of places. Fried very well. Has a really strong potato flavor. I mean, if you're after potato flavor, this is much better than your conventional fries, which are thinner. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it does benefit, these fries does benefit from a little bit of ketchup, just to break up the monotony of the potatoiness of it. Okay, I'm doubling back to the to the lake trout, the star of the show, really. Wow. And I appreciate the robustness of the steak fish. And that is very good and very, very enjoyable. But there's something about this lake trout, and because it is thinner, it really has a crispness to it that the steak fish doesn't have, because you bite into it and it's just fleshy automatically because of just how much flesh you're dealing with. This is much, much more crisp, and it has much of a crisp personality to it. Wow. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to sign off now. I'm going to finish up my food and move on. This lake trout meal from Lake Trout 2 here in Towson, Maryland, in the Baltimore metropolitan area. And I want to thank you for joining me. And please leave a comment in the comment section about any thought you might have concerning the food I ate today. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And also, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you on my next food adventure. Take care. Bye-bye.